guys, I'm sorry if this goes up late. I do intend to get this up on Friday. If this ends up on Saturday, I do apologize. I had a pretty busy day. So our blue NATO player is going to be Robbinx730. Then our red pack player will be Darricks. Darricks. I believe he does very heavy micro style control, and you know, he has his own little style. You can see the groupings. Groupings will sort of indicate like what things are going where. So I have lots of anti-aircrafts and support type vehicles. So this vehicle will probably go here, and these guys over here will probably, be watching its back. You can see these guys will probably be heading towards this flank just to watch it, not to do anything big. And then you have this huge Scott T-55 rush, which will probably be concentrating along the middle, just to try and pick off stuff. And that's just my prediction. I have no idea what's going on. But we do have a pretty big Fuchs VAB Martyr. This is a big Martyr rush. Lots of Leopards, Tows, lots of cheap vehicles that, with high efficiency can do quite well. And already we have a big encounter between the VABs and a few Scots, which are taking position in the woods here. And we have a pretty big encounter coming up right here. Should drop the Scots off just as they hit the tank line. Looks like he's rushing ahead. We're actually running past altogether. And we have VABs in the woods pounding on this location here. Over here, Chasseurs from Moss versus BTRs, which do have infantry in them and can be unloaded if they want to. The TO-55s and the T-55 tanks pound the woods location. We have Scots coming in, trying to snipe this location, but it looks like there's nothing really here of value. They're cheap units though, so they're good for scouting. We have Command here taken by Charlie and Alpha, so he's moved one over here, and Darricks has done a mirror move. Constant action, we have Motostricos against VABs here. On this side we have Motostricos pounding into the Chasseurs from Moss. Already this is a really exciting game. T-55 positioned here at the Chasseurs from Moss. And just mayhem absolutely everywhere. This is a pretty good opener on the part of Darricks. And you can see the Motostrico will be wiping out these Chasseurs from Moss in the woods here. And yeah, like, that should really clean up most of the big action here. Actually, the Chasseurs from Moss, it looks like the Chasseurs from Moss will in fact take out these Motostricos as they go down. And we have another push here. Flamethrowers on the attack command in this location, wiping these fresheners. There's Chasseurs from Moss here in this chemical plant. And the T-55 might get taken out. Darricks is microing back away from the Chasseurs from Moss. Two VABs are coming up to support, try to pick off that T-55. T-55s are really cheap tanks, so no biggie. It looks like we have some MI-I-7s on the map, or MI-17s. The TO-55 is pretty exposed, but the only thing in the area here is infantry, and this Chieftain MK2 tank here, which is forcing the TO-55 to retreat. We have in the woods here a decent scout position, so he should have complete vision of this area. Actually, he has no vision of that area. That's kind of crazy. Darricks has a little better idea of what's going on. Yeah, it looks like it's a pretty even match so far. We have a Fuchs and two VABs to try and cut off this area, and it looks like they're just going to run right into these Motostricos. This is a pretty common tactic, I'll say right now. A lot of people will just send units into this area or go for a snipe on a command, just in case someone's not all that prepared. We have a small formation here of MI-I-7s moving in to support this location, as Martyr BTSI comes up to try and take position here, but it looks like it's going to get picked off by the T-80s and the 4 OT Scots. This position is pretty much all cleaned up. Just one VAB coming in with single infantry unit, and looks like the Scots are going to clean up this T-151A2. Big long names. It's going to push back. The Zippo is going to do some work on the Scott. Zippo is very, very cost effective against Scots. He needs to get these tanks up here now to wipe this out before he loses all this. Get in mind, those are really cheap units, so lots to lose. Looking on the map, looks like we have position here for Darricks. He has position in the middle, which means he can expand to the middle when he wants to. And he's pushing it on Charlie, so that means that that location will be quite exposed. And with this strategy, he's going to drop off the Scots, jump the motorcycles onto this location, and with rockets and grenades, they can easily take out most vehicles. You know, it's really common to find a lot of newer players just don't really understand how the infantry work, and it's totally just, you know, run in, drop them off. They're cheap units, you know, you can spend them. So just another tip, like, make sure you have your flanks covered. So, like, you know, Darricks is playing very well, and he has this flank covered just in case someone comes around here. What he doesn't have covered, though, is there's a Fuchs and two VABs, or one VAB, at this location to try and snipe some reinforcements. And reinforcements do not fight back until they get to the reinforcing location. So he's going to do quite a bit of damage with these as soon as he unloads them, but Darricks is quite fast. He unloads right away. These guys were not able to get cover position, and they are getting wiped out without doing any damage at all. Down here we have a similar push by Darricks. Unfortunately, there's no real spotter here. Right here would be a good spotter for Robbinx. And so, yeah, he's going to do a pretty decent amount of damage here. He can actually swipe this command pretty easily. Got another little battle in the middle here going on. Looks like the VABs are trying to get pushed into this motor streaker line. This will not be cost effective. Too many 280s here in the corner. Just cause some trouble. If you can get just one of these in range, though, that would be huge. But Darricks is microwing away, very clever, very smart, and just gonna swipe these vehicles. And this is what you gotta do. Like, you know, if someone's running at you with infantry carriers, just run your tanks away. You can't lose these guys. Those are 120 points each. Darricks is at now at 900 points to near 300 points. The Chasseurs from Moss are getting pounded on all locations by the tanks, and they themselves are not in attack range, so they cannot, in fact, deal with this. There's a TO-55 up here in the corner dealing flamer damage, but it has been taken out by one of the tanks of Robbinx. And we see Darricks trying to form a brand new flank. So he's got riflemen here to spot, and he's got two E80s in position. He lost a little bit of ground, and that's unfortunate, but he still has himself in position to make sure that no one can take either of these, and he can take Juliet himself. So I don't know if he'll actually take them, though. He's just winning too much right now. And we have Motostricos coming in to try and snipe this command. That would be huge if he did. It's at one bar, like one big hit, and this thing's dead. Unfortunately, the Motostricos in the building are in fact stunned. He has stolen the FOB, FYI. It's now Darricks' FOB. And you got an Apache coming in trying to help clean this up. Looks like there's a small engagement going on here in this area. All cleaned up. This is a really bad scenario. He's running across a field which is currently controlled by Darricks through tanks. He also has a flanking T-55 in this position. I don't see a lot of supply in this game, though. That's one thing that kind of surprised me. The total lack of supply vehicles. Darricks has none right on the map right now. I don't think he tends to get any. So that's neat, isn't that? So we're going to speed this up more action. We have it's like MI-827 here spotting the Chasseurs from us for the Motostricos. This poor Chieftain MK might get picked off by this transport helicopter. Well, look at that. The Chieftains are coming into position. These are your prototype tank, and the Motostricos coming up might be able to snipe one of these. It's got to stop in position, and didn't in fact get one. He's got to move it away now. There we go. The Motostricos are giving chase. I said chase, not trace. Alright. Unfortunately, you know, he's microing back. The Motostricos should just stay in the woods here. Wow, he totally got that tank. Last minute misclick on the part of Robbinx, moving in the wrong location. And oh, here comes the supply. And we have, yep, we have some Dana artilleries here. And this corner, he might get it. Nope. I never failed attempt at assassinating a command. Every command's worth at least 200 points. So assassinating commands is huge. There's not really anywhere that Robbinx730 can go from here. He's going to need to do a big push pretty soon. And when you're in this scenario, you should really organize your forces in such a way to make a big push, because honestly, you're not going to be able to win otherwise. It's two nice little spotter units here, and he's getting in more VABs, AMEX, and Challenger battle tanks. So we have the spotters having spotted, and looks like heavy investment on the part of Robbinx to try and take this out. Robbinx is going to trade very, very cost effectively in order to come back into this. To the point where every single one of these units has to kill 3 or 4 units. So that's pretty insane. That means Darricks has to make mistakes. And so you have the BTRs coming in, get picked off by the front of the Shahers. That's, you know, a decent trade. But then the artillery came. Caught it in the open, the Shahers spawn lost, not sure what to do with the front Shahers moving position. The 2 VABs got picked off. And then more trickles. Looks like Darricks just wants to end this. He is pushing in everywhere. Trying to take out whatever he can. And look at this great map control. This is the area that is occupied by Darricks, and this little area is the area occupied by Robbins. He just have to move all his units forward into attack, and he wins pretty much. We're getting pretty close to the last hit right now. 1433, game ends at 1500, and we see some M48A Chaparral main anti-aircraft guns, and what's going to go happen? The Scout's going to stay there. Only 60 more points. 60 more points, guys. Looks like artillery might decide this one. As long as they stay camping, basically aim with artillery to have an advantage. Looks like here's our final encounter here. The legions are getting picked off by artillery fire, and that's there. Alright, so still, you know, a few horses left. A lot of times you don't know how far ahead you are. Like, the score is actually probably the best way to tell. It looks like, oh, he's got some artillery of his own just pounding this location. Moving in with 4 recons and 1 motor streakled infantry. And he's just streaming BTRs in, going for a big engagement, hitting on multiple angles, multiple axles. Going to drop off infantry, and this should end it. These challengers will not be able to stand up to his infantry. Done. Challenger's too expensive of a unit to deploy on this. That's a 120 point unit. So guys, that was a pretty good game. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next week.
What about Bibles that really again? People know the reactions of banana deep in their bones. I'm a man don't prove that you can easily increase food happiness and tropical by 70. I'm not wrong, you ma, but it's many times I suppose